This is a 15-inch cannon at Fort McHenry in Maryland. A cannon similar to this one was fired upon British warships when they tried to attack Baltimore during the War of 1812. The 25-hour battle cost 4 American lives, but it was the British who lost, and history was made. The account of that siege was better known as the Star-Spangled Banner, and it was written by Francis Scott Key, a lawyer. While the siege was going on, he was on an American truce ship, which was positioned at a distance where you see the bridge that bears his name today. The American soldiers who were stationed at Fort McHenry at the time had no idea of the historical significance that came to fruition that day back in 1814. They just merely followed orders and stuck to 4 simple guidelines: the defense of Baltimore, the protection of the fort, the protection of their fellow soldiers, and lastly, the protection of themselves. So in the end, as the song says, the flag was still there. After the battle, the daily life of the soldier returned to normal, which is just as well because Fort McHenry was never attacked again. Inside Fort McHenry, the daily life of the soldier began in there, in the barracks.
In less threatening times, this room would be crowded. But on the eve of the Battle of Baltimore, it was packed with men and equipment. Based on the measurements of this room, 8 double-tiered bunks could be erected. Since each bed held 2 men, 4 men per bunk, this room could accommodate 32 men, twice the number it accommodated in normal times. At the end of each bunk was an equipment rack for the men to store their gear. A soldier's life was hard. Evidence has shown that a severe groundwater problem existed beneath this building. This may have forced them to cook upstairs. It also caused the floor to sag badly. The rooms in this barracks were overcrowded and had decaying floors. Very poor quarters indeed for the men who would defend Fort McHenry and Baltimore from the British.
One of the main responsibilities the Fort McHenry soldier would perform was pulling guard duty. The Union troop guarding the prisoner shown here stood watch from 12 to 24 hours at a time. The prisoner's life was arduous, coping day to day with subhuman living conditions such as cold, dark, damp cells. Made life miserable. Not only was the prison freezing, but it had very little room. It afforded a claustrophobic environment for the prisoners who languished in there. Such is the price to pay for crime. It is not important to dismiss or disagree with the injustices perpetrated by the installation's edicts, nor should the soldiers' heroics during the War of 1812 need to be revered. The big picture is Fort McHenry is a legacy, a historic place of struggle that preserved our fledgling nation so it could continue to attain the greatness it has already achieved and go on forever. Fort McHenry today is a constant reminder not only of the American soldiers who gave their lives here during the War of 1812, but it was also the inspiration and the birthplace of the United States national anthem.